Guys, ask yourself something. During the scamdemic, did you make a lot of money? Or did you sit on your ass and do nothing and wait for the world to turn back on? Well, we have a guest today who basically did the opposite of sit on his ass. He made some money, especially in real estate when back then it was a hot commodity. Stay tuned to find out who he is, and hopefully he'll give us some pointers so we can get into real estate as well. My name is Christian Bandera. Welcome to the Escape Podcast. And across from me is my co-host, Vinny Dos Santos, a.k.a. Mr. 75 Hard, a.k.a. Mr. Network, a.k.a. Mr. Birthday Boy. Happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you, my
Happy
friend.
birthday, old man.
Thank you, my friend.
Wow, 28 years old.
28, bro.
Wow, 28 on the 28th.
28 on the 28th.
Yes,
Damn,
sir.
that's only going to happen once.
That's only going to happen once.
That's crazy. Now
I'm
that I
trying to
think about
figure out if you're aging like cheese or fine wine. I haven't decided yet.
it might be cheese with wine.
Cheese with wine.
Yeah.
Port wine. Cheese or port wine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
So I already got a present. Got a new whoop.
Nice.
At church, I got baptized
Whoop.
today, bro.
Whoop.
This
Wow.
whole day's been wild.
Incredible, isn't
Been
it?
going through a roller coaster of emotions already today.
I bet.
Wild. It's wild.
Well,
Hey, Alex got a whoop. Let's go. Hell yeah.
I got a G-Shock.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's all right.
I like my G-Shock the way it is. Thank you. I don't need those fancy things, those watches, whatever the hell they are.
It's not a watch.
Okay, whatever. A heart monitor. I don't know. All right, guys. So our guest today, like I said in our intro, made a lot of money, or at least started to make a lot of money during the pandemic because he went into real estate. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest today is Vinny Silva. What's up, man?
What's up, man?
Yo.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on here.
By the way, you have the best name.
I agree.
Two Vinnies. Now I gotta freaking say Vinny
I don't-
Silva and Vinny Dos Santos.
I don't know if this podcast
No.
can handle two Vinnies,
I
bro.
don't
You
think
know
so.
what's crazy too? I'm the 28th too, my birthday.
No way.
July 28th.
That's
Wow.
crazy. That's crazy. How old are you now?
I'm 26.
26.
okay, so
Oh,
you
so
got
you're
two
going to have one of those once in a lifetime things
I
too?
am, yeah. Haven't come yet. You know what else is
Shit.
crazy? I think Bill Gates and Elon Musk also share the 28th.
Bro, we're
Yeah.
just destined to be great.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just it's the elite 28.
I guess
It
it's
It
not-
just is what it is.
There's some facts behind that.
100%. There's got to be
know?
I
something.
guess it's fate.
It is.
It's 100% fate.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we're going to be probably multi-billionaires.
Yeah, you never know.
If you said it.
We'll get
Yeah.
there.
If you put it in the universe, it's gonna happen.
It's there.
Damn right.
It's
There
there.
you go.
It's there. It's happening.
Awesome. Mr. Silva, thank you for coming on the podcast. So, how we do the podcast is we like to always introduce our guests and give them their backstory, their origin story, basically, as we call it.
Yeah.
So, where you grew up, how you got into your fields, and then what you're basically doing right now. So, would you like to start all the way from the beginning?
Damn. All right. So July 28th, 1997.
Love it.
I was born. I'm joking. I'm not gonna go that far back.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
My parents met at the park. It's like, damn.
I know, right? So born in Brazil. My whole family moved over here in 2000. I was 3 years old. I'm a middle child. Have an older sister and a younger brother. Much younger brother. Older sister's 3 years older. Younger brother's 13 years younger than me. But I have the typical immigrant story. Parents moved over here for obviously better life for, the family. Grew up in Malden and, kind of jumped through to kind of my high school days, played soccer, captain of the varsity team. We had a very successful season. And right after high school, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do.
Mhm.
I wanted to go to college to play soccer, but I didn't know what I really wanted to do. So I said, I'm going to take a gap year. I had a lot of, family, like uncles and friends of my parents that were in construction, as you know, like Brazilians, like most of
Yeah.
us do construction,
Yeah.
So I said, all right, well, I'm gonna take a gap year from college, figure out what I want to do, and then I'll do college. But in that gap year, I realized that while working in construction, I was working in carpentry at the time. I saw that there was a void. There was a void for good, good contractors and really young contractors, people doing it the right way. Everyone was screwing everyone over. So, that one year ended up me not going to college. And a lot of that too is because my parents didn't really have a great financial situation. And at the time, my sister was going to school. She was going to Salem State. And I saw that, the pressure my parents were going through to be able to afford to put her through school. So I said, I don't want to put have my parents dig themselves into a deeper hole. I said, I'm going to figure out a different route. So started off in construction, working hands-on, carpentry. I was making good money for an 18-year-old. Ended up doing that for 2 years. Had a little bit of falling out with the company I was working with. They were doing some things wrong and, ended up leaving, had nothing to do. I said, you know what? I'm going to start my own thing. So bought a truck, bought some tools, and just started taking on small jobs here and there. And that ended up building up to, building my construction company. Just doing kitchen and bath remodels. Did that for 2 years before I was really saving up some money. And, I was almost a little stuck, kind of I had built a construction company. It was doing good, but it's what's next? So I really dove into personal development. I had, a friend of my parents at the time, which was big into the personal development, all the audio tracks, listening to these big names like Jim Rohn, Earl Shoaf.
Jerome's the GOAT.
He's the GOAT, dude.
He's so good.
He's the GOAT. So, I was talking to him a lot, trading ideas, this and that. And the more I dug into personal development, the more real estate got brought up. The more I heard about these big names, being in real estate, we hear it all the time. Real estate generates the most millionaires, this and that, a lot of wealth. People build wealth through real estate. So, the more I got into personal development, the more I just saw myself, shifting towards real estate. All right, how can I buy a house? How can I how can I shift into that? So I started going to networking events here and there, and there was a period of time where I was doing 2 to 3 networking events a week.
Oh wow!
Like 2 to 3, at least. And this was before COVID, so it was different then. But so I did that, and eventually it led to me buying my first property, which was January of 2020, right before COVID.
You were what, 22 at that time?
That was 22 at the time.
Damn.
So I started my construction company. I was probably 20 years old.
Gotcha.
Damn.
Yeah. It
That's
was crazy. I remember.
So you worked from 18 to 20, 2 years.
Yeah.
And then you started a construction company at 20.
Yeah.
Then bought your first property at 22.
Yeah.
That's wild. That was quick.
Damn.
I remember. I still remember to this day. This one time I went to go look at a project, and they wanted to renovate their kitchen, and I walk in and they're like, "Oh, it's this is a family business," and I'm like, "No," and they're like, "You look young." I was like, "Oh, thank you." And they're like, "How old are you?" And I gotta admit to this. I used to lie. I used to say I was 27.
Ah, there you go.
Oh wow.
Okay.
I
Probably
didn't
wouldn't
have
give you the
balls.
time of day, right?
No, who would? A 20-year-old coming
Yeah.
into, I'm they're gonna pay a 20-year-old $20,000 to renovate my. It's no.
Nah, yeah.
Who would?
That's kind of wild, though.
You know?
That's pretty wild.
They
Yeah.
look at younger age.
Did you just pick up construction like it was nothing? It was just super easy, or
Dude, so
was 2 years like enough in order to like dive in to open up your own thing?
so the thing was like I kind of realized that I didn't need to know everything about construction. Because the truth was I worked a little bit in constructions to understand the gist of it,
Mhm.
but I was always hiring someone to do the work.
Yeah.
Like even from the first day I started my construction company, I was a little bit hands-on,
Mhm.
but I was always hiring a carpenter to do everything. I was always
Right.
hiring everything out. So I was
Mhm.
like, I need to know just a little bit. I don't need to be an expert on construction, you know? So my thing was like, if I can know a little bit of construction and bring in people who know more than me,
Mhm.
then I just need to be good on running a business,
Right.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Secret
Yeah.
sauce. No, for real.
Yeah, you just outsourced. You basically,
Outsource
yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
You know, like why am I going to be an expert on carpentry? Because at the end of the day, like, you know, like even something as small as a kitchen remodel, like it involves carpenters, electricians, plumbers,
Yeah.
floor guys,
Mhm.
painters. Like, am I going to be an expert on everything? No, it's not worth it.
Yeah. And the advantage of speaking English, when I'm sure you hired a lot of Brazilians who probably don't
Everyone.
speak as much English,
Everyone.
you know, like you sell yourself, you know,
Yeah.
as the company, you know, you speak the language, and then you just tell these guys, hey, do this, do that, you know,
Yeah,
etc.
90%
they
of
get
my
it done.
workforce is Brazilian.
Yeah. There
You
you
know?
go. Yeah. Loophole, you know, basically, you know, just kind of finessing the system in a sense.
Yeah,
you
like
know?
the 2 years I was in construction, I just like, you know, working, and I always saw like either it's there's the contractors that don't speak good English and they have a communication barrier with clients, which leads to clients not liking contractors because it's just that communication
Yeah,
barrier, you know?
Mhm.
So it was like, all right, let me take a different perspective on, you know, the construction industry. I'm going to focus on my relationship with the clients and hire out all the work.
Mhm.
So
Wow. Do you still have that construction company?
I do, yeah. Yeah.
Sick.
I took a little bit of a break from it. There was a period in time where I was doing a lot of real estate projects.
Okay.
Now just with the way the market is, I'm back into doing work for clients.
Oh, nice.
Kind of missed it for a little bit too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And now you're, but you're still a little bit more on the real estate side, or
I'd say it's 50-50 right
50-50?
now. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's talk about the first property you bought in January of 2020.
Yeah. So, little rundown house. I remember, you know, there was a family friend that, you know, they were real estate agents and they were very successful. And then she to this day she brings up the story anytime I'm around her. You know, like a 22-year-old kid walking into their office being like, "Hey guys, I want to buy a house." And like they saw me grow up, so it's like, you know, they always saw me as a young kid.
Mhm.
And I was like, "Hey, I want to buy a house." And they gave me the time of the day, more of a respect for like, you know, like, you know, parents, family,
Yeah.
whatever. But you know, like the day I submitted the offer, the day I closed, the day I built it, whatever, they were always surprised because like, you know, just it was a young kid that they knew. But so yeah, so purchased the house January, I think it was literally like January 2nd, 2020. Did a complete gut rehab on the house in 7 weeks, had it back on the market literally, I think it was second weekend of March. Great open house, lot of attention, like, you know, a lot of people coming through, multiple people saying, "Hey, like we're gonna submit an offer, this and that." Deadline for offers was like Tuesday. We were waiting for a few people. On Tuesday, they announce shutdowns.
Oh no,
Dude,
Yep.
that's
Dude.
crazy.
dude, imagine being 22 years old, like
And
all the money I had
just bought a
saved
house.
up the last 2 years, like running the business, like building the construction company, like everything, like into this house. Like I was just like, I'm done,
Ah,
you
that's
know?
Just
crazy.
sitting with it. You got to sit with it.
Yeah.
That's
So
rough.
yeah, so I was shitting bricks. And so pretty much the house sat on the market for like 3 or 4 months. you know?
Yeah.
You know, thankfully we, you know, in 4 months went by and we got an offer. It was a really good offer. It was successful. But during that time, you know, like I kind of had to choose. Either I'm giving this up or I'm diving into it. And I decided I'm diving into it. So in that meantime, where that house was sitting on the market for 4 months, I actually bought another 2 houses.
You bought another two
Oh,
houses?
I bought another
Damn.
2 houses. I was like,
Damn, my man was like,
yeah.
screw it.
So, well,
Risk it all.
Yeah, there was one thing I saw was because of COVID, because of lockdowns, people didn't want to, because at the time, condos were big. You know, especially around Eastie, Everett, like Dorchester, like everyone was, the condo market was hot. But something I was hearing a lot of people talking about was like, all right, people don't want to buy condos anymore because like people want their own space.
Mhm.
You know, like we were locked inside for, you know, however long. Like people started wanting pools, backyards for the kids to run. And I was like, I think the single family market is gonna boom. And that was like kind of my specialty. It's always been my specialty is single families.
Okay.
So yeah, so in that meantime, I bought 2 houses. And, you know, that year, 2020, we actually bought 6 houses.
Damn, bro.
How did you do that?
So so
Christian's like, what?
yeah,
You just leverage each one of them?
yeah.
Yeah.
So literally, so
Wow.
that first house, we accepted an offer. And then I went to a bank. It's like, hey, I have an offer. I have a purchase and sale agreement in place. This is the amount of money that's going to come out from the closing. I don't have money to buy this next house, but I will roll all the proceeds from this first closing into buying this next house.
Was it kind of like a 1031 or was it a little bit different?
It's
than that?
different.
Okay.
It's not something banks do,
Okay.
but because no one else was buying houses,
They allowed it.
they allowed it.
Makes sense.
And I was able to buy, like, no one was buying houses at that time. You know, I was going to these showings and just lowballing people because, like, people thought the world was going to end.
Yeah.
You know? So, I said, I'm going all in,
Mhm.
you know? And I got a bunch of houses, you know, super low priced. And all I had to do was just build them, you know?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What? I'm trying to understand your mentality at that age. Because I know at that age, all I thought about was soccer and making it as a pro. I was
Yeah.
not thinking about like necessarily money or investing or I didn't do it. Real estate, what?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm very fortunate. I got into the personal development space pretty early.
yeah.
I think at that time I already had listened to every single piece of audio that Jim Rohn had put out,
Wow.
you know? So, you know, and there's one thing that ever since like early on and I've always kept in my head, it's like what's success? You know? And it's like Earl Shove said it best, is like success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. So, you know, success isn't $1 million or like, you know, a business that makes a lot of money or,
Mhm.
you know, a happy family. Success is like setting a goal and working towards that goal. So, you know, I was taught early on, it's set goals. And, you know, one of my goals was, you know, a certain car. One of my goals was I want to buy this many houses this year. And, you know, like a mentor I had at the time, it was like, hey, don't set goals based on what you think you can achieve. Set goals based on what you want. So if your mind can desire it, you can achieve it.
So yeah, it's more of a optimist.
You still got those audio tapes, by the way?
I do,
Shit.
dude. I think I have maybe like,
We're gonna have to talk about that after this.
dude, I got like maybe 30, 40 gigabytes of just audio tracks.
Perfect.
Wow.
I'm gonna need to.
Yeah,
Crap.
You're gonna need to send those over.
yeah. More than happy to.
So you have 6 houses. Did you sell each one of them? Did you rent them out? What did you do?
Sold all of them.
All of them.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. What did you on that very first house? How much did you buy it for?
So bought it for like $285.
What?
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
that was
and it was in Saugus too.
that was what 2020 you said?
2020.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bought it for 285. Then we spent like 150. Sold it for 680.
Oh yeah, you
80?
Wow.
made a good profit. Yeah.
Made a good
Wow.
profit.
Wow.
And then
680, high six.
yeah,
Damn,
and then we got
that's crazy, bro.
yeah, and then we got really fortunate because by the time, so like we bought all those houses in 2020, and then 2021 single family boom. Every single family house boom. Everyone wants a single family house because we just spent like 8 months locked in, and people were like, "Damn, if I was locked inside and had a pool, that would be really nice."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's people start thinking, yeah, maybe we should get a single
Get
family
a
house.
single family house. Damn,
Yeah,
that's
So
crazy.
you just capitalized on it. You
And it's
saw-
so funny. It's crazy that you were able to capitalize that.
yeah,
That might have gone over a lot of people's heads.
it
It's like,
did.
damn, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
That's wild. And at that age too, that's wild.
yeah. I've been very fortunate. I've gone thrown into the mix and just had to like learn to problem solve and figure things out at an early age. I think that's kind of been I've been successful and made good money out of this, but I think the biggest asset or best thing that's happened to me was everything that's gone wrong and I've had to problem solve or figure things out.
Mm.
That's probably been one of the best things that's happened to me.
Yeah, you was it pressure builds diamonds.
Yeah.
And you were under a lot of pressure with that first house right there. And you're like, you know what?
Yeah.
Gonna go right into this. About 2 more.
Yeah,
So that first year you bought 6.
6.
Damn.
Yeah.
What about the following year?
So the following year, it started to get like a little bit tougher to be buying because people saw that everyone wanted single family houses. So we did. I think we did like another 4 the next year.
Okay.
Still solid.
You're just paying capital gains tax on these, or
Yeah.
you're just sucking it up.
Like I look
Yeah.
back and I don't regret anything because I'm here today because of everything I've done. But I just imagine if I had kept those houses, like how things would be different. But it is what it is.
Would you have kept it now? If like looking back,
A few of them I would.
a few of them.
Okay.
Okay.
It would have been tough to keep all of them, but a few of them,
Yeah.
100%.
Okay. Do you remember how much you made off the first year out of those 6 houses?
That first year, so those 6, we actually didn't. We sold all of those the following year,
Mm.
but probably around like 7 to 900 grand.
So then you got 40% capital gains tax. So minus that, almost in half.
Yeah.
Explain that
Yeah.
capital gains tax to me.
So let's say you buy a house for $500,000
Mm-hmm.
and then you sell it for $600,000. $100,000, that
Gets taxed.
difference, that's a capital gains tax. So,
So it's 40%. You said.
well, at that level, at 900 grand, yeah, it's around 40%. So it's the tax brackets. Think about that.
Shit.
So if it's under 100,
The
usually
higher,
it's around
the bigger the tax.
Exactly.
So if it was $1 million, let's say profit, they're
It'd be
taking
40.
400K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Welcome to America.
Jesus.
Why do you think these big corporations don't pay taxes?
Yeah.
They claim losses, or
Yeah.
they do 1031s when
What's
they
a 1031?
So a 1031 exchange is when you sell your current house. Let's say, let's do it with the $500,000, right? You buy that house for $500,000. You sell it for $600,000. So instead of paying the capital gains tax for that $100,000, you put that $600,000 into a house that's more expensive than that $500,000 house or $600,000 house.
Okay.
So let's say you put it into like a $700,000 house, and now you don't have to pay that capital gains tax.
But that's the only way around it.
That's that I know of.
Yeah.
That I know of.
But it doesn't work in what I do
Yeah.
because you have to like at the minimum lease it out or rent it out for 2 years.
Okay.
And since I don't do that, but it's allowed me to, and what I've thought about recently, it's like, all right, well, what if I build a house, rent it out for 2 years, and then sell it? avoids that. Yeah.
It avoids that?
Yeah, it does avoid that. So
Interesting. So you just gotta wait it out.
you just gotta wait it out.
You still make some money along the way though.
Yeah, you do. You can rent it out and stuff, but
That's also kind of a headache with, especially if you have
is, yeah.
so many houses.
yeah,
You
Well, that's
know?
why you have a property manager.
yeah,
Yeah, true.
but
Is that what you're more or less doing now, or no?
um
Or are you still going with the
not
same
yet. I'm
flow?
still selling. Like I actually just put a house on the market this week.
Nice.
First open house today. Hope it actually went really good.
Nice.
Hoping to kind of get something good.
Where's that at?
Woburn.
Woburn.
Nice. Good location.
Really good
there.
location.
Yeah, definitely.
How many houses have you bought / sold?
I think
can
I'm
ball-
in the 15,
Wow.
maybe a little bit more.
Okay, that's pretty awesome.
Pretty
Yeah,
solid.
just
Wow.
under 20.
I mean, granted, he's been doing this for what, 4 years?
4 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
What's something that you learned doing that you think someone would get good advice from? Like something that they would get from it?
Proper management.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Cause so I was very successful, and so I it was me and a business partner. We were very successful, and we bought a lot of houses in the beginning. We were making a lot of money. Like, some of the houses we bought that first year were selling the following year for over $100,000 over asking. That's when the market was really hot.
Is that because you're putting work into the house as well?
There,
Yeah. So we're buying and we're, pretty much tearing these houses down and building practically new,
Gotcha.
and where, because I had the construction background,
Mhm.
I'm just hiring the subs. So instead of most people who do what I do, they're hiring a contractor. A contractor is going to charge you at least 15% of the construction budget. So a contractor is going to charge you anywhere from, around $100,000 to do this.
Mhm.
I don't have to do that because I'm just hiring the subs and I'm managing the project myself. So one of the biggest things I learned and what I'm applying today is proper management. Because we bought a lot of houses, we lost a little bit of control of these houses, and we made good money in the beginning, but then we actually lost money. Some of like the last few houses we did, we actually lost a substantial amount of money because we didn't properly manage these properties.
and when you say manage, do you mean you just kind of like forgot about them? You kind of forgot to upgrade them a little bit more, or what?
Yeah, a little bit of, not being on site every day, making sure everything is going to plan. A little bit of not properly tracking numbers and knowing where your money is going. Because we were doing this and we never treated it as a business, which I think was the biggest mistake. We knew we were making money. We weren't really sure how much money we were making, but we knew we were making money because we were buying a house for X, putting in X, and making 3X. So it was like, all right, we're making money.
Mhm.
We never were on top of the numbers.
Gotcha.
So I think it's that. I think it's knowing your numbers, and everyone says it, and you hear people say it, but it's like you really gotta know your numbers.
Definitely, and that's probably when you would hire a good accountant and bookkeeper.
Exactly.
That's where you outsource bookkeeper, accountant, property manager.
Yes.
So they can take care of that.
Exactly.
Definitely.
So I'd say that's probably the biggest lesson, and what I would tell anyone getting started in it today. It's just know your numbers.
Cool. Awesome. Well, that's a really good piece of advice. I think a lot of people will get a lot of good advice from that. So now that you're basically kind of doing half, let's talk about a little more at the construction. Have you grown it a bit more? Are there people under you directly, or are you just subcontracting?
Yeah, so I'm still subcontracting everything. I started bringing a few people in. So, I've got like a carpenter, looking to maybe bring on like an assistant or someone to kind of more manage the books, invoices, that kind of stuff. Looking to bring something like that soon. But Yeah, so it's mostly I'm still mostly subs, and I want to keep it that way. Just because it makes no sense in me doing like the electrical and plumbing work. I'm I'm not a specialist in that, and that requires specialty trades. Um. So yeah.
Gotcha. And then when you're not juggling two businesses, what do you do in your free time?
I'm in the gym a lot.
Yeah, I can see that.
Nice.
I
There you
love
go.
the
that.
gym, dude.
There you go.
I think the last maybe like 2 years I've started focusing a lot on health.
Yeah.
Because your health is your wealth. And I've realized that the more I've focused on health and invested on health, being in the gym, what I'm putting into my body, it's actually allowed me to, be more present in the business and just be a more, like productive person.
Definitely.
So I'm a big gym guy.
Dope.
Hell yeah.
What gym do you go to?
Ultra, Lifetime.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And then I have a trainer too that I work out with him, and he has a gym in Dorchester.
Oh, dope.
Yeah.
How long have you been with your trainer?
I think like 3 or 4 years now.
Damn.
Yeah.
What's
Was
your
it-
goal?
Huh?
What's your goal?
Dude,
Be as big as humanly possible.
I wish I could lie and say something that's more like, you gym guys like, but
Yeah.
I just like looking good.
Yeah.
Honestly,
no, that's
yeah.
perfect.
It's looking good
That's probably the best
and feeling
answer.
good.
That's honestly probably
Yeah.
the best answer.
Like I like it's look good, feel good,
Play
Yep.
good.
Feel good, play good.
feel good, play good.
And if you play good, they pay good.
Play good.
That is
There you
also
go.
true.
That's right.
So
You
there
know?
you go.
So it's like I kind of realized that because it's, when you walk in to like meet someone and like meet a client, I think first impression is important.
Mm.
So it's like, I like to dress good. I want to make sure I look good too.
Yeah.
I think people trust you more when you do look good.
Are at least kept together.
Kept together,
Yeah.
So
Sure.
for me, it's like I like looking good, but I also, after a certain point, it's like, am I really gonna look any better, or is it? I'm just addicted to it at this point.
Yeah.
Hell
And
yeah.
there's a level of confidence that it gives you too, right? So
Yeah.
you can go into those meetings or whatever, like head held high,
Yeah,
and people just they feel that,
yeah,
and they can trust you.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. So,
Pretty dope.
yeah, I'm kind of right now. I'm just, every day just kind of figuring how I can just get better with like health, whether it's massages, chiropractors, and I feel like after you get to a certain point, it's just like it's that little 1% change that just
Yeah.
Makes a difference.
makes a difference.
Right.
That's the same thing in the business world as well.
It is.
Because like you think all the big steps, big leaps, and everything, but it's that little bit every time that's actually going to make it even better and grow. It's not always the big stuff. Sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are there any other like things that you wanna eventually venture off into? Like I know you do real estate. I feel like when people pick a thing and it starts to work, they kind of stay. But I don't know. Maybe you're thinking of something like Alex crypto or whatever. Have you ever thought of anything different?
I have, and just like I've thought about that. Like, all right, like like what's next?
Mm-hmm.
But I love what I do,
Nice.
and like like I reap the benefits of it, but I truly just enjoy like and there are days I hate it, but I enjoy the freedom it gives me, and I enjoy being able to show up. Like there's something about construction that I just love. I don't think I'll ever move away from it. Maybe I do think I'll scale it to a higher levels.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for now,
That's like your bread and butter.
yeah, like like a
Yeah.
10-year plan. Like I see myself still.
Okay, so with that being said, 10-year plan, like what would be your overall goal? Like if you had, like let's say at this current moment, like your dream life, like what would that even look like?
For me, it's scaling my construction business, having a good team under me, building luxury houses in like the Newton, Wellesley, Needham markets.
Always around this area though. You don't want to go anywhere else.
Now you want to go there.
Dubai, Beverly Hills,
Dude, Miami is my second home.
Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a
Okay.
period of time I almost like got a place down there and tried moving down there. It was
Okay.
actually during 2022. Now I feel like, I don't go out as much as I used to, so I think Miami not as much, but I definitely would love to be in the Florida market.
I've been hearing of some people who have construction companies here, but they live in Florida, and then
Yeah,
they'll
there's a
come
few.
back every week for a couple days.
There's a few.
Man, that's wild to me.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
I think that's in my 5-year plan to
Move down there.
get a spot down there and become a, what do they call it, a snowbird. Leave for the winter, come back.
Yeah.
like-
I would love to do
I
something
totally
like
get
that.
that.
That'd be
You know?
dope, actually.
I love Boston, don't get me wrong. Each year I'm just getting a little bit more tired of the cold.
I totally agree.
you
I
know?
know this year was rough. I was like, bro, I hate this cold so much.
And it wasn't
Yeah.
even that cold this year.
And it wasn't even that cold. Exactly.
It was not that cold.
Just a little bit of cold. I'm like, oh.
And we didn't get any snow.
Yeah,
We
Yeah.
haven't gotten any snow the
Yeah.
last.
that's true.
That's
No?
what's crazy.
Climate change, man.
Yeah,
Climate
and then
change.
it's funny because like whenever you travel and let's say you go to Miami, you're like, damn, I need to be living here. What am I doing? You see the Lambos pull up, everybody's in a good mood, like things are just going. You're just like, why am I wasting my time in bummy ass fucking Boston?
I know.
Bikini swim week is coming, man.
Bikini swimming is coming. You got Alex moving down there soon. Everyone's moving down there.
Yeah.
It's like that's where it's at right now,
Yeah,
and we're here in the cold.
I know. I think we're in a good state though.
No, yeah,
make
for
money.
sure. Yeah, I think in a lot of ways, I was at church a few weeks ago, and the pastor pulled up a stat that Massachusetts is literally, if it wasn't the first, it was top like 5 best state to live
Yeah,
in the whole United States,
I know.
which is wild. All the colleges, a lot of good hospitals, education, everything. One of the best states to live in. And that kind of blew my mind.
I know.
You know what I mean? Because
So it's like, how do you just get
Yeah.
up and leave that?
we're called
you know?
mass holes for a reason. So then it's like, damn. But then you get that stat. And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, are we really that bad? We're actually pretty good. Yeah.
I know.
So it's I don't know. What do you think, Bandera?
Yeah, I think I'd rather move. Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere warm
Yeah.
and an island and
Your own island.
no people.
Damn.
Yeah, no people. Just
Can't
me
blame
and
you on
whoever
that.
I'm bringing there.
Epstein's Island. You going to Epstein's Island?
Oh boy, oh boy.
Oh boy.
No, it's something a little more in the Caribbean area.
Okay.
Probably,
You're gonna need his kind of money though.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you are.
Well, as my boy over here said, if you can dream it,
That's it.
that's all that matters.
That's
That
it.
is all that matters.
So there we go.
That's
And,
it. He'll help you buy it.
exactly.
Damn right. We'll build a nice house. out
Hell
there for
yeah,
you.
man. Hell yeah.
It's a new real estate.
I love
Yeah.
that. I would love to. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So before we get into a couple more topics that I want to talk about before we end the podcast, we're going to take a quick break and we're going to thank our sponsors for the video. And you guys can go to the bathroom or get a water or anything. All right, everyone. We want to thank our sponsors for the video because without them, we would not be able to do this podcast. So the first sponsor we'd like to thank is the BAC. I already got one, Alex. Yeah, I actually got a bunch. I got three of them, Alex. 3 of them.
All right,
We
man.
want to thank the BACP group, which is Alex's business.
Yes,
So
sir.
without Alex, we would not be able to do this business for us. We would not be able to do this podcast. Thank you, Alex, so much for this opportunity. We really appreciate it. Guys, if you want your own podcast or if you guys want to do your own photography, videography shoots, boudoir shoots, black tape shoots, whatever shoot you want to do. Oh, and fitness shoots too, because freaking Alex is really getting into the fitness game. So hit up Alex. He is second to none. He's the best at it. Please hit him up. He'll make you look really good, and you both can become wicked successful together and famous like me and him are starting to become.
Thank you, senor. He's getting better with
Getting
it.
better. Trying.
Yeah, he's killing it. He's killing the game.
Hollywood, I'm coming.
Yeah.
I'm coming.
Coming, baby.
I'm coming. And so we also like to thank our second sponsor for the podcast, NutriMeals. As business owners, sometimes it can be really hard to cook your meals because you don't have a lot of time. With NutriMeals, they make it a little bit easier for you. All you have to do is go online and put in the order for your meals, and then they ship it right to you, or you can just pick it up at one of their many locations for pickup. There's so many great options. There's high protein, low carb, low sodium, gluten-free. Just so many options for your nutrition plan. Try them out. NutriMeals. Use KMF40 at checkout for 40% off your first order. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. NutriMeals. Give them a try. All right. And back into the podcast.
It's getting smooth with it.
I know. I'm trying.
It's getting smooth.
Just gotta relax.
Yeah,
do
that's
my
it. Take
thing,
it
let
easy.
it roll through the tongue.
Just let it roll out.
Yeah.
There's no rush, just patience.
Exactly.
That's it.
So, Mr. Silva, I have this opinion, and maybe it's just me. Maybe because I'm a brokey. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Massachusetts right now is very good for real estate and making money off of it. I think you'd have to go somewhere where it's a little bit cheaper to buy a house to be able to actually make money. Because here they're all overinflated, overpriced, and even if you put down a sizable down payment on a house, I still don't think you can make a lot of money off it if you were to like rent it or maybe even flip it. What's your take on that right now, 2024?
I do think it's gotten a lot tougher, especially from when I started, and especially from what I hear guys who started even earlier. It's tough, you know. That doesn't mean that there's no opportunity out there. I think there is. I think we're just in a very, and this is, I think is it's not just, you know, Massachusetts, but pretty nationwide. We're in a very saturated market. Everything is expensive. Inflation is, you know, all-time high. Rates are all-time high. But I think that there's always opportunity. It's just, you know, whereas 4 years ago you could find a house on the market, buy it for over what they were asking, throw money into it and sell it for more money than you put into it. Today it's tougher. Today it's you know, the people who are successful today are the people who are getting these deals off market. And you know, like today, for example, I went to an open house and like this house was like falling apart. You know, there was trash everywhere. Like there was water, you know, there was mold, like seriously, like you had to gut it completely. And it was on the market. And I walked in, walked out, maybe there for 15 minutes, saw maybe 20, 25 groups. Yeah, like a lot of people. And this house will probably go for 70, 80 grand.
Over asking.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And like I'm running my numbers and I'm like, damn, like at what they were asking, like my numbers are tight. You know? I would buy it just because like it's an extra project. Like I know it'll make money. And it's a market I know, so I would at what they were asking, but I know it's gonna go for at least 60, 70 grand above what they're at.
So basically, you kind of have to like start digging through the trash, per se, to find the gold nuggets, pick and choose.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, because you have to fight it off now.
Yeah.
And until, you know, if it comes down, which I don't think it will.
I don't know if it will. That's the thing.
I don't think it will.
You know, and that's a big reason why I actually started focusing again on the construction business. I don't know. I don't see myself doing as many houses as I once did at one point. You know, I'll do 2 to 3 a year and focus more on building the construction company up.
Yeah.
You know,
because there'll always be construction work to be done.
Yeah. You know, people like, and the reason why the real estate market is so saturated is because there's a lot of people with a lot of money out there, you know, especially like, you know, like the baby boomers, like they were the ones that bought these houses for 100 grand and all of a sudden those houses are worth $1 million and they haven't put like more than few $1,000 into it.
Yeah.
So they're just sitting on a whole lot of equity and cash, and there's a lot of people wanting to do work. So that's what I think. I think that there's opportunity out there. It's just you gotta pick through it. You gotta constantly be out there looking at properties, you know, trying to find the deals that aren't on the market and trying to find the good deals that are off market.
Gotcha.
What about commercial real estate?
Um,
Have you ever thought about that?
yeah, it's a different ball game and something I would like to learn a little bit more. I don't know enough about it, but you know, I think there's a lot of opportunity in it. I knew a few people who are pretty successful with commercial real estate.
I've been noticing a lot of businesses out around Route 1. You just drive down Route 1, everything's
For lease.
For lease.
Yeah.
For lease.
Yeah. Well, you got to realize it's the same thing kind of with us. You know, rent goes up every year, and people are like, you know what, I could probably get a better deal somewhere else, and I don't need to be, you know, front facing to the highway. You know, I could do just as well, you know, in somewhere else, you know, industrial park or something. That's
Yeah.
half the rent.
Could be.
So maybe it's that, or maybe, you know, the other businesses are taking over because, you know, there are certain businesses, or especially on Route 1, that like kind of like dominate all over.
I bet the rent there is high as hell too.
Yeah. Well, you got to realize, like, you know, the businesses that are doing really, really well, the landlords see that and they raise up their rent, so they have to raise up everyone else's rent too.
Right.
So it kind of just, if you're like scratching by, you know, with your small business, and, you know, Kowloon's down the street, you know, is their property is going up and up and up. Yours is going to be going up and up and up as well when it comes to the rent. You know, you might not be able to stay there long.
Right. I heard they're opening up a new one in New Hampshire, I think.
Seabrook.
I think so.
Yeah.
Something. I heard that they were like selling a little while.
That was a while
back,
ago,
and
too,
there was
yeah.
like a development plan for there, but I haven't seen it or heard anything else.
I heard Seabrook, they're going to build another one, or they're
Yeah.
partnering with someone to build it. Company.
Wow. You know what's crazy? I've never been to Kowloon.
I've only been once.
I've been once too. Actually, maybe twice.
Everyone tells me it's amazing, this, and that, blah, blah, blah.
It's interesting.
And I've always wanted to
Twice.
go. It's just, I just,
Well, I'm going to have to go.
I had
one day.
a
Yeah?
high school banquet there once.
Really?
And then I went with a friend and his now wife. Yeah.
Wow.
That was the only time I went.
Yeah, Kowloon's is the place to go on the North Shore, apparently.
Apparently.
Yeah.
No.
Everyone knows it.
Everyone, exactly.
Everyone knows it.
Even the South Shore people. Like,
Yeah,
do.
everyone knows
awesome
it. If you've ever
people,
driven
like-
down Route 1 at least once,
Can't
it's
miss
like
it.
you can't. It's right there.
Can't miss it.
Yeah.
And even if you don't know what it is, you're like, what is that?
What is
You know?
that? And then you remember the
And you're
name.
searching it up.
Kowloon's.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
You can't.
Yeah, you
not
can't miss it.
remember
So
that
it's
name
the
too.
biggest freaking thing on Route 1.
Yeah, pretty much.
Size-wise, too, basically.
Yeah.
I think that
Outside
like
of that massive cactus that's there too.
Oh,
like
yeah.
The Avalon or whatever.
Oh, that's
The
true. Yeah.
hilltop thing,
Hilltop,
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hilltop.
I think
Yeah.
to tie into like what you said earlier, I think that the business, you know, like businesses are changing. Like we're now in a digital age, whereas you don't need that storefront anymore on Route 1 to get people to come in. Because you can have like, you know, the storefront that's deeper into the city or off Route 1 where no one sees, and just be big on Instagram.
Exactly.
You know, you don't need that. You don't need a storefront anymore. It's just as long as you're on Instagram and, you know, digital places, you'll get people in the door.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Mhm.
This age of social media plays the
Yeah.
biggest in businesses
Yeah.
success.
So it's
Yeah.
like maybe instead of spending $6,000 a month on rent on Route 1, let me get this place that's a little bit further in or off, you know, the main highway for maybe $3 or $4 grand, and that $2 or $3 grand, let me put that towards marketing.
I totally agree.
For
Totally
real.
agree. I think people are getting smart about that too.
Yeah.
And people are leaving, or people are just kind of like, you know, they're barely getting by and they just gotta get out.
Mhm.
So, yeah, we live in quite an interesting time now with the housing market and commercial market right now.
Yeah, I feel like you gotta kind of be on top of everything. You know, you gotta know what's going on with real estate. You gotta be on social media. if you have a business, you gotta definitely focus on social media too.
You have to. I feel like we have to, constantly adapt. And it's like if you want to be, even just simply good at what you do, not even the best at what you do, you have to just kind of adapt and figure out what's next and constantly change. Because they're also like, you could be really good at what you do now, but a few years down the road, if you keep doing the same thing, like, you won't. Like the restaurants that were really good 10 years ago, if they didn't adapt and, get on social media and change things, like you're not going anywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a fact.
So I think it's about constantly adapting and keeping up with, the market.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So now we're talking a little bit more about the housing market. What's a deal that you had that was amazing that paid so much dividends? Because we already heard about the bad situation, the first house.
Yeah.
Well, what's about a good situation?
Well, that first house was actually a good situation. It caused me to throughout the process, it was awful, because I thought I was just gonna fail and whatever. But at the end of it, it was good.
Mm.
But I think the best project I've done, best deal I've done was actually a property in Woburn. So pretty much we bought it for I bought it for $300,000. Spent another $200, put it on the market for probably around like $650, $700, and then it actually went for $180,000 over ask.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's wild.
insane.
And that's just location. That's probably the reason.
It was location.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
location plays a big part.
Yeah.
Big.
Some people just got
A little bit of location and a little bit of buying a deal that no one else wanted to buy.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually on a main road in Woburn, and then it was at a really tiny house on a small lot. But we ended up selling, I think, for under $800,000. So and this was maybe I think this was maybe beginning of end of 2022. So imagine getting a brand new house, like a 2,500 square foot house in a good town like Woburn for under $800,000. It's even then, you couldn't get that.
Yeah, definitely.
So because we bought a really small house, really run down, and it was on the main road, so we really bought it for a really great price.
How long does it usually take you to see a house, pick it, buy it, renovate it, get it listed and sold on average?
It really depends. But so for example, there's this property the one I just put on the market today. I closed on the purchase middle of September. So middle of September, I closed on the purchase, went through permitting, got all my permits to do what I wanted. Started construction on it, I think beginning of December. And, it's on the market today. So 4 or 5 months of construction. But that's kind of a little unheard of. More often than not, it's 8 to 12 months.
Wow.
I just happened to be, for one, this house was 3 minutes from where I live. So I was there every single day, morning, night, it was never an excuse to not be there.
Yeah.
So I was just there every day, saw it closely, made sure everything was done perfectly, quickly, proper planning too, making sure everyone was aware of schedules. Yeah, I'm a very systems guy, So when I'm bringing when I'm out there talking to the carpenters, it's hey, you have this time to do it, and it needs to be done for this day. You understand this schedule, I understand it. We're good. Finish on time, and everyone's happy.
Yeah.
you know? So I'm like that with every sub, electricians, plumbers. And, you know, so I did that from the beginning. I created a schedule, made sure everyone understood the schedule, respected the schedule. And it's allowed me to pretty much almost practically build this house from the ground up in 4 months.
That's dope.
That's insane.
Which in the end, it saves me a lot of money because every month it's 8-10 grand, you know,
Wow.
to
Yeah.
mortgage payments.
Yeah.
That's wild.
So time is
Time is
important.
money.
Time is money.
Time is money, man. Time is money.
It really is.
Damn.
You know, so being efficient is really important.
Gotcha. And what do you do when it comes to the interest rates right now? Do you just kind of like suck it up and refinance later if you keep the houses, or you just too quickly just sell them, you know, just suck it up basically kind of thing?
Yeah, that's and that's a little bit why it's tough to keep right now. It's because of the interest rates. I haven't had to deal with that because it's mostly, you know, I'm getting good rates on my construction loans. Obviously, the higher rates ends up eating into your profits in the end, but rates are high, property values are high, so it's like it almost like weighs it out.
Yeah.
It just ends up making it tougher because it requires more capital to do the project.
Exactly.
You know, instead of making a $3,000 payment on a loan, it's, you know, it's double that.
Yeah, and now you understand why people can't afford a house these days, because it's $6,000 for a freaking mortgage payment
I know.
on a fucking single family house.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you know, I'm hoping rates go down, but who knows?
They will probably go down, just not by much.
No, it's not by much. We'll never see, you know, the rates we were seeing a few years back in the 2s,
Yeah.
3s,
No, definitely
even
not.
4s.
Yeah, probably not the 4s either. Ever.
Definitely not.
You know.
Yeah. Well, Vinny, before we close up the podcast,
What is it?
Silva,
Oh, my bad.
Vinicius.
How to do it.
That's
We're
you.
both Vinicius.
That was my. That was my.
Vinicius.
Both
Yeah, we're both
Vinicius,
Vinicius.
yeah.
Yeah. So you should have been like, what?
I know what.
Yeah, that was a golden opportunity. I couldn't miss it. I had to do it.
Silva Goncalves dos Santos.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
There we go. There
Yeah.
we go. Before we close out the podcast, can you give someone in the audience a good piece of advice to getting started into real estate? Besides, you know, the property managing, you know, that
Yeah.
kind of stuff, like something.
I think, you know, and I look back and what helped me and what got me started. Obviously, there's a lot of the personal development, you know, setting the goals, you know, working at it every day. But I think the biggest thing, one of the biggest things, is networking. You know, the real estate industry and is it's more about who you know than what you know. And I know we hear that a lot, but it really is. You know, and I look back, like I mentioned it. Yeah, I used to go to these networking events like 2-3 times a week, and I feel like today I have such a great network, whether it's investors, you know, other people doing what I do, building, that I can kind of just bounce ideas off of. People that today are my friends. You know, I look at the circle of close friends and business individuals that I'm working with, and that's everything, you know? So I think get out there, network, meet new people, go out for coffee, lunch, you know, even today, like being where I'm at, I'm still constantly doing that, trying to meet new people, trying to build new relationships. Cause I don't think you can ever have enough of that. And more than just being in real estate, that like just business in general.
Yeah.
You know, so I think I gotta say the get out there and network.
That's a good piece of advice, actually,
Yeah.
because you never know. Someone might have a house for sale.
Anything.
There you go.
Yeah.
And it's off market.
Yeah.
So you could maybe negotiate a little
Call
bit.
me.
There you go.
You know,
There you go.
For real,
So,
though.
I think that's
That's a great piece of
I
advice.
think that's really important.
Yeah. I think it's a great piece of advice, because like I was thinking something like something totally different with real estate, but you said networking. I'm like, that's actually really good, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah, I think
Really,
it gets
really good.
overlooked sometimes. Sometimes it's uncomfortable, like going out there to a networking event, 6, 7 o'clock. You've had a long day, and going out there to talk to people. Like, I'm a social guy, but there are days that I don't want to do it, but I still go.
Yeah.
I do it. And I'm always happy I do it.
The dude doing our security cameras, he was from a networking event.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He was from Rick's event.
Oh no shit. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. There we go. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
You never know.
Never know. Your network is your net worth.
Damn
Yeah.
right.
Amen to that.
Amen to that.
All right, my friend. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. We really appreciate it. Before we close out the podcast, I always like to do these rapid fire questions for our guests.
It's back.
Yes, they're back. So there's 5 rapid fire questions. They're made to be fun, not to be taken seriously. There's a little bit of math, so break out the calculator and we'll get right after it. I'm just kidding. Please don't.
I was like, should I really get my calculator?
Like, oh, shit, there we go. But no, there are a lot of them are tied to fitness because we are a fitness mostly podcast, but we're trying to branch out a little bit. So
Yeah.
I think these will be easy for you.
Okay.
All right, are you ready, my friend?
I think so.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. Push, pull, or legs?
Legs.
Wow. Oh,
You evil man.
you evil man. Yeah. Do you throw up on leg day?
I never have, but
Wow.
You got
I think legs is the day you can push yourself the most,
Mm-hmm.
and you break the most. You break a good sweat.
Hell yeah. I totally agree.
That's
with
for
that.
sure.
Totally
You
agree.
know.
So now we're going to talk about carbs, fats, and proteins. Which one do you prefer?
Carbs, fats, or protein? I mean, prefer protein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Good.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love fats.
Yeah.
Love the fats.
Cheese. Yeah.
Cheese,
Hell yeah.
butter.
Fuck yeah.
Love the fats.
What's your ideal form of cardio? Stairmaster, biking, walking, running, rowing. Maybe something else.
Probably like a hit workout.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I haven't heard that one yet.
I probably, besides a hit workout, I probably don't do cardio.
Ah, I don't blame you on that one.
Yeah.
That's not fun.
Yeah,
No,
cardio
I
sucks.
hate cardio.
Cardio sucks. I
Yeah,
totally agree.
cardio sucks.
Totally agree. Fuck cardio.
Fuck cardio.
Honestly, cardio sucks, dude.
So, what's the best compliment you can get as someone who works out? You're jacked, you're ripped, you're big, you're cut, or you're swole.
You're cut.
Okay.
Cut.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Were you always like a skinny guy, or were you always a bigger? Or were you a bigger guy?
I've never been. I've put on a little bit of weight, but I've never been maybe more than 20%
Okay.
body fat.
What do you currently weigh?
I'm at like 183, 182.
Well, like 15% body fat right now.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably.
Cool. Cool.
Between 12, 15, I'd say. I haven't tracked recently, but I think around that.
That's perfect. Perfect percentage right there for everyone to walk around.
Yeah, it's comfortable.
So,
Comfortable percentage.
and what is your ideal cheat meal?
I'm not a huge sweets guy.
Me neither.
Yeah.
No. The Vinnies, bro.
Yeah,
You
the
ain't
Vinnies.
about the sweet life.
Yeah, I am.
I would say, and it's not much of a cheat meal, but depending the way you get it, an acai bowl
Okay.
with
Yeah.
some you
Yeah,
throw
definitely
some
depending on
condensed
how you
milk
get it.
on
Yeah.
there, like a little Nutella.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
I think that's
can have
That's a sweet
diabetes
thing.
and a
That's
boy.
sweet.
it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's probably where I get
Well-
my cheat meals the most.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And the last and most important question of them all, and if you get it wrong, we have to kick you out.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Ass or tits?
Tits.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh man,
Why tits?
why? Yeah, now why?
I mean, come on, it's right there, like
Alex.
can't go wrong with a nice set of tits.
Ah,
So what if she's flat as hell but has massive jugs?
All right, then no.
Ah.
That's what I'm saying.
It needs to be a good balance.
Yeah.
But what if she had a huge ass but flat tits?
That's good.
Okay,
can
so
go
you're
with
an
that.
ass guy.
Good.
You're an
Yeah.
ass guy then.
So it has to be an ass. You got to be an ass guy then if you
I
can't do the extremes.
I mean,
doesn't it make sense?
Brazilians are ass guys.
So you prefer the balance?
I prefer the balance. I just the tits are just, you know.
You know what Tim said? Because Tim was on here. And you,
Yeah,
you know
Tim.
Tim.
Yeah,
I
there you
knew.
go.
Tim said oars for the poor. So both.
Of course you did.
That's the best
That's
answer
such a
so
Tim
far.
answer.
That's the best answer
That's
so
such
far.
a Tim answer.
I'll forever use that till the day I die.
Exactly.
I swear.
Oars for the poor.
Oars for the poor. So both.
Yeah.
I agree with them.
There we go.
I agree with
both.
them, you
Both.
know?
We were going to switch your answer. to
You know,
both.
there's something that I like. It's, you know, there's no such thing as ugly people, just poor people.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
So,
another thing. Ronaldo back in the day, bro.
Yeah.
That dude was
But
busted.
ugly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And now,
No
nothing some
teeth.
money can't fix.
Yeah. Exactly.
100%.
Exactly.
Look at all the celebrities, bro. It's the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is the same.
Some of them use the money and they look even worse after. But
Yeah.
that's because you're just stupid. But
You're just stupid with your money, you know.
yeah.
Too much cocaine.
Too
That's
much. Yeah,
Yeah, that too.
yeah.
All right, my friend. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Do you want to give everyone your social media, if you have any, or some way they could reach out to you?
Yeah, I mean, Vinny_Silva on Instagram. It's pretty much it.
Okay, cool.
Any
Yeah.
businesses you could shout out, maybe your construction or anything like that.
Yeah. So my construction business, it's VS Construction.
Pretty simple.
Yeah,
Pretty
very
plain.
simple.
Perfect.
And again, I apprate you guys for having on me.
Thanks
This
for
was
coming, bro.
Thank you.
fucking
Yeah.
awesome.
For real.
Appreciate it. Thank you again. All right. I think we're all good to go then.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Mr. Dos Santos, happy birthday.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Mr.
sir.
Silva, thanks for coming. Mr. Breezy, thanks for having us again. As always, we appreciate you. And we also appreciate you as well. And until next time, everyone, see you then.
We gonna